Right before this mock draft episode starts, we just wanted to mention that this was recorded before the Eagles and Saints trade between their draft picks. So just want to let you guys know that and enjoy the
Hey,
mock draft.
welcome back to the Football Don't Lie podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be doing our NFL mock draft. We are officially in April as we're recording this video, and it is mock draft time. Draft rumors are swirling around. Pro days are happening. The combine is over, so it's a good time to give our first mock draft for 2022. Um, yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Everyone will just give their picks and give their reasoning. Hudson, who's your first pick for the Jaguars?
With the second straight year of having the first pick, I have the Jaguars taking Aiden Hutchinson, as a lot of people do. I think he's just a guy that you can take in this draft, number one overall, plug into that system, and he's just an instant game changer for that team to be the face of the franchise on defense.
Yeah, I have Aiden Hutchinson too. He should fit perfectly for them, in my opinion. No doubt about it. This pick, I think this is the consensus number one overall pick right now, in this draft. But we'll see. We'll see. I have a feeling somebody else might sneak up. I'm not gonna say his name yet, but there's a possible chance Aiden Hutchinson could not be one. But for right now, he should be the number one.
Yep, I have Aiden Hutchinson one as well. This is probably the easiest pick, because after one, I don't know. It's like so many different possibilities for 2 through 32. But there was like talks of O-line going one, but the Jaguars like splurged like crazy in free agency. They signed a lot of O-linemen, so those have died down. And it looks like Aiden Hutchinson is very likely going number one. Consensus number one pick, basically. All right, number two. I'm gonna see who you guys have first for my Detroit Lions.
Go ahead, Hudson.
So I know, so this is not like, I'm not completely sold on this yet, but just from what I have right now, I have the Lions getting their next franchise guy in Malik Willis at number two. He'll probably end up, if this is the pick, he'll probably end up sitting a year behind Jared Goff and then take over Detroit in 2023. But right now, this is the pick I have for the Lions.
As much as Malik Willis is a very good quarterback, and as much as he has as much raw talent as he has, unfortunately, there's just no way in my mind that the Lions can pass up on Trayvon Walker. His length and just like his size and the way he moves for an edge is just off the chart. Like he could be potentially another TJ Watt, another Myles Garrett off the edge. And it's something the Lions desperately need because they lacked D-line push from and especially to help out their young corners in the backfield. A edge like Trayvon Walker would be perfect for them. I just think they cannot pass up on Trayvon Walker. Like they just can't. And yeah, you can get a QB later on. Like I feel like they could still get a nice QB like Sam Howell or like somebody else, or just stick with Jared Goff for another year or two. But passing up on Trayvon Walker is a complete mistake. And this is the guy. I think he could be the number one overall pick because of his physical attributes. So I think the Lions take him here too, but I would not be surprised at all if he goes one to the Jags.
I do. I like Malik Willis. I really do. Y'all know I'm a huge fan of his. I just don't see us taking him at two. There have been possibilities for us to trade down, but I don't know who would trade up to two, unless you're a team like the Eagles who have two picks. But who are the Eagles trying to take at two, like so desperately? So I think we'll stay put at two ultimately. I don't think we'll end up taking Malik Willis. I don't have us taking Trayvon Walker either, though. I have us taking Kayvon Thibodeau, who I think is the best edge rusher. I don't know why he's dropping. Everyone's talking about attitude problems and all this nonsense. Can you guys tell me? Because I know this. Last year there was one player in the draft who everyone was like, "Oh, this guy has attitude issues, motor, like whatever. Like he has like off the field concerns." Do you guys know who that player was?
No, I don't.
Oh,
remember.
was it?
I
It
think
was it Parsons?
It was Micah Parsons.
It was.
It was
Parsons,
Micah
yeah.
Parsons.
It was
Yeah.
Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons turned out to be one of the best players from the draft. So I don't buy all this attitude concerns. Kayvon Thibodeau is a freak. He is a freak of nature, freak athlete. I think he's the best edge rusher in the draft. I think he's better than Aiden Hutchinson. Um, I just think he's a rare talent, man, rare physical specimen, and I don't think you can pass up on a guy like him. I like Trayvon Walker. He's been rising lately, but I think Thibodeau is the best guy available. And we have to snag him. So I got Kayvon Thibodeau at 2. All right, number 3, Houston Texans. You guys have?
Go ahead, Hudson.
This is where I have Trevon Walker going. I do think that if the Lions are not going to be taking Malik Willis, then Trevon Walker or Kayvon Thibodeau is probably going to be that guy. But I have Trevon Walker going to the Texans here. His draft stock has probably risen the most out of anybody in this draft during the combine, and it's boosted him up all the way into the top 3 and arguably for the number 1 overall pick in the draft. So this is where I have him going to the Texans and going to be an instant game changer in Houston.
Since Trayvon Walker's already off the board in my mock draft, I have the Texans taking Kayvon Thibodeau. Suhas, you mentioned it. He's very explosive. He did have an ankle injury, but he still finished with 7 sacks last year. He's got the ideal size to play defensive end. And I feel like the Texans system, I don't know if it'll fit Kayvon, but he's still a generational type of player. And yeah, I don't know why his stock was flying. He could have easily been the number 1 overall pick in this draft class. But good for the Texans to have him fall at 3 here.
At number 3, I have the Texans going a different direction. I have them taking O-line here. I have them going Ike Mekwonu. I think you got to protect Davis Mills. I like Trevon
They already
Walker.
have Laramie Tunsil for that.
Yeah, but you need more than one player, though.
But, he's already playing left tackle. Ekam's a left tackle.
But you can put Ike Mekwonu at right tackle. Because that's what the Lions did last year with Penei Sewell. They had Taylor Decker.
Again, it takes time for a tackle who's played left tackle all his career to transition. But feasible. It's feasible.
I think Ike Mekwonu is that good. I think he's the best tackle in the draft. I think he's better than Evan Neal. As far as run blocking, I think he's him. I think he's the best run blocker. And I think the Texans have to go O-line. Like, if you're not going to go Ike Mekwonu, then go Evan Neal. I think edge rushers is a good position of need for them. But, protecting a young QB is, your number 1 priority right now. And it's not like a team like the Jaguars who went out and got, a bunch of linemen in free agency. So I have Ike Mekwonu at 3. I can understand Trayvon Walker.
All right. Hudson, you want to go first for the Jets?
He said he's going last. Just go.
Okay. All right. For the Jets, this is a little tough. But I think it's a pretty obvious choice a little bit once you think about it. I mean, I don't think there's a better defensive player in the draft in terms of ball hawking skills than Kyle Hamilton. He's got to be the pick here for the Jets, especially after they traded Jamal Adams. I'm pretty sure Marcus May went to the Saints during the offseason. He's big. He's a big dude. He can play box linebacker at times. He's his what's it called? His wingspan and his it's his pure physical abilities. He can play pass coverage. He can come into the box and play the run. He's got it all. And so yeah, this is a more that you think about. This is an obvious pick for the Jets. He should slide to 4. And if I were the Jets, this is an obvious pick. I take Kyle Hamilton.
I have Trayvon Walker going to the Jets. Like you guys mentioned, he's a very good talent, very big, and he could fit nicely on that edge. So yeah, I have Trayvon Walker at number 4. And it looks like Hudson is not ready yet. So we'll just come back to him. He'll give his form. Jadis, who do you have for 5?
For the Giants,
Pause. My
go
fault.
ahead.
I'm
Okay,
back
go ahead,
for number
Anthony.
4.
Alright.
I've the Jets taking the first offensive line in the draft with Vicky Kwanu. I've seen a ton of people and have just come to think that Ekwonu is going to be the first pick over Evan Neal. And I think the Jets are going to be the first team to take an O-line here at number 4 to protect Zach Wilson at all costs. And Ike Ekwonu is going to be a great player to start that O-line up.
Who do you have for 5?
And for number 5, going to the Giants, I've the other offensive line with Evan Neal. I think that just to start that, to kind of keep it going, Andrew Thomas was not the player I expected them to take 2 years ago, but he has not been that bad for them. I think they're going to give him a bit more time to develop. But Evan Neal is probably the most ready offensive line coming out of this draft. And I think the Giants are going to be taking advantage of that, trying to find a winning routine. If Daniel Jones does not really work out, they should have enough, or not enough, but they should have some type of capital next year to try to get another quarterback. And, if they do end up getting another quarterback, they're going to have an O-line surrounding Evan Neal to protect that guy.
I also have the Giants taking Evan Neal here. He'll be my first tackle off the board. His just pure frame is just insane, bro. 6'7", 360. He's just a brick just standing there. That's exactly what you want for a franchise quarterback. This is going to be a big year for Daniel Jones. And having a guy like Evan Neal protecting him will help tremendously. So I think this is an obvious pick. You could go with Quan Icum, whatever his last name is. But taking Evan Neal here is not a bad choice at all. In fact, I would take Evan Neal over Icum right now.
This is my first trade. I don't have that many trades, but this is my first trade. We have a team moving up to take a shot, and the Seattle Seahawks are taking Malik Willis at 5. They are trading up. The Giants will trade down to 9. The Seahawks will give up whatever 3rd, 4th round picks or whatever picks needed. They're moving up to 5 and taking a shot because teams love to take shots. Pete Carroll has said that he hasn't had a top pick in a while. He wants to make the most of it. I have a feeling they're going to go for Malik Willis. Now, this is before Baker Mayfield has gone anywhere, so I don't know what the situation with that is. But this is assuming that Baker Mayfield is not going to the Seahawks. If Baker Mayfield goes to the Seahawks, you can disregard everything I'm saying. But right now, the Seahawks are stuck with Drew Lock, and I'm pretty sure that's it. So, yeah, you're going to have to go with the QB here. Malik Willis is that guy. Generational talent. Y'all know how I feel about him. So he's at 5 for the Seahawks.
Okay. That's very interesting. Very interesting.
Panthers. Hudson, who do you have for the Panthers?
So for the Panthers, I was in definitely, I feel like coming closer to the draft, I may have another type of situation where I think they could take a guy like Kenny Pickett. But in this mock draft, I've been taking the third consecutive O line, 3 in a row, with Charles Cross coming off the board here to protect. Looking like for the season, at least on my board, it's going to be Sam Darnold. And same situation with the Giants, basically. If this does not work out, Panthers have to go to get a new QB in any type of way next offseason. Their QB comes in with an O-line that's going to be at least suitable for them, with the guy like Charles Cross, Taylor Moden. I'm blanking one more guy I'm trying to remember. But I know at least Charles Cross is going to be one of the young factors in that O-line for years to come.
Suhash, go ahead.
I have Evan Neal because I have not had Evan Neal go off the board yet. So I have Evan Neal going to the Panthers. Just simply the best O lineman available, probably the best player available to position of need. Kind of just makes sense to me. You could go QB if you want, but I have Evan Neal.
At number 6 for my Panthers, I've been pondering over this because, I've heard all the rumors and all that stuff. But I just think we're going to be stupid. Okay. And I think it's going to happen. And unfortunately, as much as I don't want this guy, I think Matt Rule is going to be a stupid motherfucker and he's going to select him. I think the Panthers take Kenny Pickett at 6 over Malik Willis. I just have this bad feeling about it. That we're going to take Kenny Pickett. It's going to be the worst decision ever because A, we haven't fixed our O-line yet. We still need a left tackle. And based off of my mock, we should take Icahn. We should 100% take Icahn without a doubt. That should be the pick. Think about QB later. Or you know what? Even better, trade down. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. But you know what? This is the Panthers, okay? We're the most stupid organization ever. And guess what? We're going to take Kenny Pickett because that's just what happens in Carolina. So that's just my 2 cents.
You think it's going to be David Tepper's decision?
It's going to be David Tepper's going to have a factor into this. He's 100% going to have a factor, and I just have a bad feeling it's going to be I have a bad feeling it's going to be Kenny Pickett.
Okay, at number 7, we have.
You didn't say you're 6.
I said Evan Neal.
Oh, okay.
At number 7, we have the Giants again. Well, the first time for me, but the second time for you guys. Who do you guys have at number 7?
I actually have the Giants taking. Oh, that's an error. I have the Giants now taking Kayvon Thibodeau because I have not have him come off the board yet. He's just going to be one of those guys you can put into that system, and he's going to be just like he's going to be game changer, just like I explained about Aiden Hutchinson. So the Giants come out of the first round, come out of the top 8 with an O-line, one of the top O-line, and one of the top edges, which is going to be a huge changer for the Giants coming into the season. But Kayvon Thibodeau, like you guys said earlier, is just going to be one of the best players in this draft. And he's obviously been dropping a ton recently, but he's still going to end up as one of the best players. So I have him going here in the top 7.
At 7, I have the Giants taking another O-line. Icahn McQuan. He can play guard. In fact, that's what he played in 2019. And I know I'm contradicting the point that I made earlier, but Icahn can play guard rather than just right. He can't play right tackle, I think, but you will learn to play that. But he mostly played left tackle and guard. He's going to be a very good interior lineman, I think, for the New York Giants. And they're just filling up the gaps in the O-line to help protect Daniel Jones. I get it. You could go out and go get weapons, but you already have Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney. You can always go get a receiver later, protecting your O-line is more important. So I think the Giants take Icom here at 7.
At 7, I have the Giants taking Charles Cross. Same kind of thought process. Next best O lineman available. So, yeah, Charles Cross. You got to protect Daniel Jones. If this probably is a make or break season for DJ. So you're gonna have to see what he can do behind an O lineman. So, yeah. Oh, sorry. At number 8, we have the Atlanta Falcons.
Hudson, go ahead. I want to hear what you say.
At number 8 here for the Falcons, I have the first. Well, I've Drake London coming off the board here. I think the Falcons just really I know I have Kyle Hamilton. I think we all actually do have Kyle Hamilton still on the board, but the Falcons just really do not need a safety, and I really don't see them taking anybody else on the board. So Drake London is going to be perfect.
Just to interrupt, I think Tay just took Kyle Hamilton at 4.
Yeah, I took Kyle Hamilton at 4.
Oh, true. I didn't hear you say that. Seahawks, do you still have Hamilton on the board?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I have Drake London going to the Falcons, though. Calvin Ridley's out for the season, just suspended for the season. Russell Gage signed with the Bucs in free agency. And the Falcons are just in desperate need of a receiver for Marcus Mariota. It's going to be kind of weird saying that name when talking about the Falcons, but Drake London has shown to me that he can be the best receiver in this draft over Garrett Wilson, who to a lot of people was by far the best receiver. But for me, Drake London has just been seen to me as just a big physical receiver who can do basically anything you could ask from a receiver. So I have him going here, number 8 to the Falcons.
I actually have the Falcons going receiver here too, but I actually have them taking Garrett Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson, he's explosive, and they need a guy that can go up and go get the ball. And I know Garrett isn't that big of a receiver, but he actually goes and gets catches. I think he'll fit perfectly with Marcus Mariota. Again, feels weird to say, but he's an explosive receiver. He'll fit in nicely, and they just need weapons, especially with no Ridley this year, and especially with Russell Gage also leaving. So I think they take Garrett Wilson here at 8.
I have the exact same pick as Tejas. I have Garrett Wilson at 8. I think he's the best receiver in the draft. You need weapons, man. Like Calvin Ridley's suspension. They literally have no one else. Like I don't know who Marcus Mariota is going to be throwing to. I know a lot of people are going corner here, like on mock drafts, but I just don't see it. Like you have AJ Terrell, you're fine. Like you need a receiver who's going to be targeted because it can't all just be Kyle Pitts. So Garrett Wilson is the pick for me. And then we move on to number 9, who is the Seahawks / the Giants for me.
Hudson, who do you got?
What was that?
For number
Who do you got
9.
for 9.
Oh, my fault. I have the Seahawks here taking Kyle Hamilton. I think he's going to be the guy to pair. They're set up right now with Jamal Adams. He can just be that great mentor for Kyle Hamilton, get him to be an even better player than he already is. And he is one of the best players in the draft, but just by positional needs, I really don't expect him to go higher than 9 just because I just really don't think that any team is going to be willing to take a safety that high in the draft. But Kyle Hamilton pairing next to Jamal Adams could create a pretty scary no-fly zone in Seattle.
I think the Seahawks sit here at 9, and because of the Panthers' stupidity, they get the quarterback they wanted all along. I think the Seahawks get Malik Willis at 9. He'll fit them perfectly. Obviously, they had Russell Wilson. Malik's not Russell Wilson. He's more of a runner, and he's a little bit taller than Russell. But I think he's very explosive. He's got excellent athletic qualities. he's gonna be a project though. And it's gonna be a hard rebuild for Seattle, but having Malik Willis should help, and that's who I think they take at 9.
At number 9, I had the Seahawks taking Malik Willis at 5. So I have the New York Giants, and I had them taking O lineman with my first pick. So I actually have a riser here, a guy that I really, really liked. He hasn't been, in the top 10 consistently until pretty recently. I've seen him top 10, and he might be a slight reach. I have Jermaine Johnson out of FSU, edge rusher. I think you got to go. The 2 picks for the Giants have to be a combination, in my opinion, of edge and O line. And I already took their O lineman at 7. So I have Jermaine Johnson at 9. I'm a huge fan of his. I'm a very, very big fan of his. I just think that he's a very good athlete. He has all the tools to be a very good pass rusher. He plays with intensity. He's patient in the run game. He's not the most finesse player, but I just think that athletically he's like very, very gifted. So I have him going 9.
Well, at number 10, I have the Jets going defense here. After taking Ike Ekwonu at number 4, I have them taking the best quarterback in the draft in Sauce Gardner. So they do get the guy that they've wanted. And I've seen a lot of mocks where the Jets do be taking Sauce Gardner at number 4, which I just really do not see, because I feel like there's a legitimate chances here. And even in my mock, I have them taking him at number 10. So he's just been he has not allowed a single receiving touchdown when guarding in college, which is just absolutely insanity. So translating to the NFL, I really don't think should be too hard for Sauce Gardner, who's going to be the newest member of the Jets.
I also agree with Hudson here. I think the Jets take Sauce Gardner. They just improve their defense, which is what they needed help with, and they just get better as a defense. Kyle Hamilton and Sauce Gardner, that'll be a deadly duo for years to come for the Jets. And I think this is a great pick for them if they get
him. At number 10, I finally have Kyle Hamilton going off the board to the Jets. Kyle Hamilton, I was a big fan of Kyle Hamilton's game. I actually considered him going number 2, but like, my safety can't be this slow, bro. Like, this guy who's a slow player? True. He makes someone look like, he makes Jared Goff look like Usain Bolt, bro. So like, I don't know. His speed is the only thing that concerns me. But I think the Jets could really use a guy like him. Who is their safety? Jordan Whitehead. Yeah, like that's terrible. So, I have the Jets taking Kyle Hamilton. At this point, like at number 10, he's kind of a steal. So, they got Trayvon Walker at 4 and Kyle Hamilton at 10. So I think they'll be very happy with their draft in the first round.
Well, at number 11, my fault. At number 11 for the Commanders, this is where I have Garrett Wilson going. I think that there was just really, I do think that there's a chance that the Commanders could take Derek Stingley here, but I feel like in the end, other than Terry McLaurin, Washington really does not have any other receivers. You could throw in Curtis Samuel, but there is health concerns there, as he has not really had a fully healthy season in a while. So I do have them going Garrett Wilson here to try to get a fresh start at receiver. Possibly pairing him with Terry McLaurin could create a really nice young receiver duo in Washington.
Interesting pick. I think the Redskins. Whoops. I think the Commanders. I think the Commanders reach here, and I think they go Tyler Linderbaum.
Whoa.
Hold on. Hear me out. Okay. They need a guy inside guard because they just lost Brandon Sheriff. And And the thing about Linderbaum is he's really good. And he's very competitive, and his technique is very good. And for a guy who's so big, he plays so fast. So I really like this pick for Washington. It might be a reach in some eyes, but in my opinion, I think this is a great pick. They needed interior linemen, and there's no better interior lineman, in my opinion, in this draft than Tyler Linderbaum. If unless you include Icom as an interior lineman, but if you include Icom as one of the best interior linemen in this draft, then Tyler Linderbaum has to be second. Not a bad pick here at all for Washington.
Wait, did Brandon Scherf go to the Panthers?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, number 11. I have the Commanders taking a receiver like Hudson, except I have them taking Drake London out of USC. He's just a very good receiver. I think he's the second best receiver after Garrett Wilson. And like Hudson said, apart from Terry McLaurin, who do they have that Carson Wentz can throw the ball to? We've already seen that he's not, the best QB at making stuff happen out of nothing. He needs weapons around him. So you can't just force feed Terry McLaurin all the time. You need another option. And Drake London is a very good option to have.
Yeah. Well, moving on to number 12 with the Vikings. This is where I have Derek Stingley going. I think this is a perfect fit, honestly. The Vikings, I feel like, just really need a corner that can be a long-term guy for them, not just bring for a year or two and then leave in free agency. And Derek Stingley, I feel like, could be that. I'm not going to say total face of the franchise on defense, but he could definitely be that corner, that long-term corner that the Vikings have been waiting for patiently for a while now. And I mean, before all the Sauce Gardner stuff came along a couple months ago, Derek Stingley was known as the best corner in the draft, but I think he's going to be staying as the second best now of Sauce Gardner. But I think he's still going to be a really, really good player in the NFL, translating from LSU to whatever team he lands on here, with the Vikings being for me. I think he should do really, really good in the NFL, being one of the most aggressive corners definitely in the draft.
Good pick. But I think this is a very obvious pick for Minnesota. They lacked interior D linemen, and there's no better interior D lineman in this draft than Jordan Davis. Absolutely not. This dude is a freak of nature. Okay. Let me ask you guys a quick trivia question. How many pounds does Jordan Davis weigh? You know how many pounds he weighs? This dude is 341 pounds. But when you watch the tape, he does not move like a guy who's 341 pounds. He moves like a guy who's like 200 pounds playing wide receiver. That's how fast he is and how quick he is with his technique as a D lineman. I think this is a great pick for Minnesota. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if his draft stock kept rising within these next few weeks because of how important D linemen are. In my opinion, Jordan Davis, I think he could be a top 10 pick in this draft without a doubt. But I think he'll fall to 12. And this is a steal for Minnesota, in my opinion. He's a freak of nature. And they lack D linemen, and they got an interior one in this draft, I feel. So this is the way to go for Minnesota. So that's why I got them taking at 12.
At 12, I have the Vikings taking a corner, but not Derek Stingley. I have him taking CB1, Sauce Gardner. Hey, Sauce is just that guy. I love Sauce. He's a lockdown guy, man. He's just I just think he's an absolute stud. And the Vikings need corner depth. Can y'all name the Vikings corners? Like I can't even name it. Like half of do they still have Patrick Peterson?
Yeah.
That's it, right? I can't name anyone else. So the Vikings, they need corner depth very, very it's like a very crucial need for them. Patrick Peterson's old as hell. And apart from that, like everyone else kind of sucks. They did bring in Chandon Sullivan from the Packers, but he's kind of like not that great. He's okay. Sauce is CB1, man. He's going to be a great player. So you got to take him at 12, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. But on to the Texans at number 13. This is where I have Jermaine Johnson going. Now the Texans here, I have them going out of the draft. I literally just realized now that I'm saying it, with 2 edges. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work out. I may have to switch that around at some point in the mock, but maybe the Texans switched around on their own with Travon Walker and Jermaine Johnson. I just feel like Jermaine Johnson might be too good of a player to pass up on.
You got him taking 2 edges?
Yeah, I just realized it. But honestly, I guess Jordan Davis could be a pick here, but I feel like at that point, I just feel like Jermaine Johnson, I guess, could be is going to be my pick. He's one of definitely the best edges in this draft, but now I realize that I have Travon Walker and Jermaine Johnson both going to the Texans. So I guess should be a way to figure that out, but yeah, okay, I may have to change that up at some point.
You done, or you gonna change it up real quick? Okay.
No, I think it's fine.
So at 13, I think the Texans go get Derek Stingley Jr. He's explosive. I think he can play toe-to-toe. He's a very good corner. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, he was getting top 10. He was getting picked in the top 10 in early mocks. So yeah, he's one of the best corners in this draft, and it's a position that the Texans lack. So I think this would be the perfect pick for them here at 13.
I have the exact same pick. I have Derek Stingley at 13. Second best corner available. Second best corner in the draft. Best corner available. And yeah, it's a position of need, so I think it's a very obvious pick. Hudson, who's your 14?
My number 14 to the Ravens here is Tyler Linderbaum. Their center for the past couple of years, Brandon Bozeman, was released or retired or traded or left in free agency or something.
He left in free agency to Carolina.
Left in free agency. Oh, okay, he signed with the Panthers. But the Ravens have been basically left without a center, and with not signing one through free agency, it kind of just makes me think that they are going to end up drafting a center, whether it's in like the later rounds or my pick obviously is here, where at number 14, they do take Tyler Linderbaum. I do not see him really being taken by any team before this. I know that Tate said that Washington, so maybe that's a team to keep an eye on. But I do have him going here to the Ravens as probably, I think easily the best center in the draft.
Interesting pick. At 14, I think Charles Cross falls right into the Ravens' lap. He's a really good tackle, really good fundamentals, really good footwork too. And he just fits the position and a need that the Ravens need. So I think they take him here at 14.
At 14, I have the Ravens taking a receiver in Chris Olave. I think Lamar Jackson desperately needs help at wide receiver. I know Hollywood is cool. I like Hollywood. I like Rashad Bateman. But like those guys, I don't think those guys are like do you guys see any of those guys as like cornerstone receivers? Like I really don't. Devin Duvernay, like again, like another like solid but okay receiver. But I think you have to take a guy who has a lot of potential here. Chris Olave definitely does have a lot of potential. I really like him. I think he's going to be a stud. And the Ravens at 14 is a good fit for him. So I have Olave going at 14.
Okay, that makes sense. Now number 15 with the Eagles, one of their 3 picks in the first round. I have them going to corner here with, in my opinion, the 3rd best corner in the draft behind Derek Stingley and Sauce Gardner. Trent McDuffie. I watched a ton of film, or not like, I mean, I guess so, but just highlights and film on him. And I just love the way he plays. He's one of my favorite cornerbacks prospects in this draft. And I think the Eagles just really do not come out of this draft without taking him, whether it's here or next pick or at even 19. I think Trent McDuffie is going to easily be a top 20 pick in this draft, as I think he'll end the season as one of the best defensive rookies in the league.
At 15, I think the Eagles go Jameson Williams. I think y'all are sleeping. I know he just came off an AC. I think it's ACL, right? If I'm not mistaken. ACL injury. But I don't know if y'all have been noticing the trend that players come back even better from ACL injuries. So I don't have a problem at all with the Eagles. They need weapons. And I think they get a really good one here in Jameson Williams. He's basically this year's Jalen Waddle, I think. He's super fast, super skilled, great route running technique. And he's from Alabama. Let's be real. Alabama receivers are freaking elite. So I think the Eagles go Jameson Williams here to pair with Devonta Smith.
I actually had Jameson Williams going at 16, but I don't really think it matters because I have the Eagles taking both picks here. So I'll just say 15 as well because Tejas just brought him up. I have Jameson Williams. I think the Eagles just drafted a Bama receiver last year, Devonta Smith. Why not draft another one in Jameson Williams? And those two can be a scary duo for the future. I'm not a Jalen Hurts fan, but at least you have the receivers there. If you draft Jameson Williams at 15 or 16.
Yeah, that makes sense. And now with the Eagles' second pick in a row, I have them taking Zion Johnson. I'm also a big fan of him coming out of BC College, I believe. He plays left guard, but I'm pretty sure that he can basically play most positions on the line except for center. Left guard is his primary position, though, or right guard. I know one of the guards, though. But I'm just a big fan of him. He really what he does on the interior is just great to watch. And I think the Eagles can definitely come out of this draft with Zion Johnson on the roster.
I think Eagles get a steal here, and they get Jermaine Johnson here at 16. He's a very explosive edge. He's got really good, fundamentals. I really like his size in the NFL. I think he'll succeed. And the Eagles just need some D linemen. It'll boost their defensive line, especially with Fletcher Cox probably about to get cut next year. Jermaine Johnson will fit in with that D line perfectly. And to be honest, you can never have an abundance of D line. So I think this would be a good pick for the Eagles.
I have the Eagles taking an edge, but not Jermaine Johnson as he's already gone. So I haven't taken the next best one, George Karlaftis, who's fallen a bit from a couple months ago. But if you can get him at 15 or 16, I think that's a very good spot. Like Tay just mentioned, the need for an edge is there. And Karlaftis fits that. He's the best edge rusher available. You just picked a receiver. You're in good shape here if you take Karlaftis.
And at number 17 with the Chargers, this is where I do have Jordan Davis going. And the Chargers are just looking so scary if they can actually get Jordan Davis all the way here at 17. Their defense, especially just on that line right there. Khalil Mack on one side, Nick Bosa on the other. Joey Bosa on the other side, and then you have Jordan Davis right in the middle of both of them. That's just looking so scary. Then you have Derwin James back there guarding deep. It's just looking so scary for whoever the Chargers go against on defense. But I've been taking Jordan Davis here. Like Tay just said, easily the best defensive line in the draft. 340 does not even move close to like it. Moves like he's a high school player still, which is, a high school player who's like 260 or something, which is absurd the way he moves and gets past defensive lines, just literally gets past in like their plastic box or I'm going to say cardboard box, but still, I really don't think Jordan Davis falls out of range here. I think if he's here on the board at 17, he's being taken anytime before for sure.
I my bad.
Oh, you
Changes
know,
go.
you're good. I think the Chargers take George Karlaftis here at 17. Again, as I mentioned with the Eagles, you can never have an abundance of D linemen, and a young edge like Karlaftis would fit in perfectly. He's got really good athleticism, good burst, and he's going to be mentored by two of the best in the business, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. So he'll fit in really nicely, be good depth. He can learn, and he'll probably be one of the best in the league. This would be a great pick for the Chargers.
I also have the Chargers taking Jordan Davis. Same reasons as Hudson. So, yeah, Jordan Davis he's a freak, man. He just moves a lot faster than what he is, as Tejas and Hudson both said. 340, but moves like he's 210. So yeah, Jordan Davis at 17 is a steal.
Yeah, and at number 18 now with the Saints, this is where I have Jameson Williams going. I think the Saints, who are most likely looking like it's going to be Jameis Winston at the head of that team, at the head of the team this season, he's going to need a receiver because honestly, I don't even know. I mean, I guess Marquez Callaway is Michael Thomas. I haven't heard from him in about 3 years. I don't know what the deal with him is, but I mean, they're going to need a receiver, another one, or just a receiver in general. And Jameson Williams is going to be just a crazy, speedy elite receiver, like Jade said, coming out of Alabama, which they all are. I was thinking he was going to the Eagles. But I think he's just going to be a great fit with the Steelers. With the Saints and with what's their head coach's name? Is it Mark Allen?
I don't even know, bro. No,
It
it's
was
Dennis Allen.
Dennis Allen. I was gonna say good fit, but I really don't know what his play style is really going to be like. But Jameson Williams is just a speedy receiver who should be good for the Saints and Winston this upcoming season.
At 18, I think the Saints go receiver, but I think they take Chris Olave here. Olave is a really good. He played at Ohio State. He's really good. He was supposed in multiple mocks that I saw early on. They had Olave as the first receiver coming off the board. He's really fast. I'm pretty sure he runs I forgot what 40 time he ran. I'm pretty sure it was in the 4.2 to 4.4 range. So he's fast. He's got really good route running. So I think he'll fit in perfectly with the Saints, regardless of what happens with Michael Thomas. So it'll be a good pick here.
I have the Saints taking receiver too, but Olave and Jameson Williams are off my board. So I have him taking Treylon Burks at 18 out of Penn State. I watched him very closely, Big Ten receiver. So I did watch him very closely. He's a very good receiver, man. I just think he's very slept on. I don't really think he's getting talked about as much as he should. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up with. I'm stupid, bro. My brain is not working. Treylon Burks went to Arkansas. I'm talking about Jahan Dotson. But I still have Treylon Burks going at 18. He's just a very good receiver. I think he's the best one available.
Yeah. And at number 19 with the Eagles' last pick of the first round, this is where I have George Karlaftis going, the edge rusher out of Purdue. They take two defensive players, one offensive, one on the line, one defensive back, and then one edge rusher here in the first round. So I think the Eagles come out of it with three great players in the draft. George Karlaftis, definitely the best edge rusher on the board. Actually, I have one more after Karlaftis being taken in the first round, but definitely the best on the board at the time. So I think the Eagles get the best, like I said, 3 times the best edge rusher, which is going to lead them to possibly the playoffs again next season. It's going to be fun to see how the season plays out, but Eagles are heading in the right direction with this pick.
At 19, I have a surprise pick here. I don't know if you guys are going to have this. I have the Eagles taking Nakobe Dean from Georgia. Again, another run-stopping, fast, quick Georgia product on that Georgia defense last year. They are very fast, very good. And I think Nakobe Dean, he's one of the better linebackers in this draft. And the Eagles need defense, and especially at the linebacker position. I think he'll fit perfectly with them. He does require some help in the pass game, and he can rush the quarterback at times. So I think he'll fit in perfectly with the Eagles. It might be a reach, but I think for the Eagles, this is a good pick. So yeah, I haven't taken Nakobe Dean at 19.
I have the Eagles taking Trent McDuffie. I had him taking an edge and a receiver. I think a corner alongside Darius Slay to lock people down would be really, really good. I think Trent McDuffie is going to be a really good player. I think he has one of the highest floors out of anyone in this draft. I just think he's going to be NFL ready. So I have him going at number 19.
And at number 20 for the Steelers, I do have them taking Kenny Pickett here. They get their future quarterback now. And I just don't think that – I know they brought in Trubisky and stuff. I think they're going to have him and Kenny Pickett be competing. Pickett may sit behind Trubisky for a year, something like I have Malik Willis sitting behind Goff. But I think this is going to be Pickett's team if this is the pick here. Would not be surprised this happened, but there's also a big chance that he's taken at number 6 or 9 or 11 or literally 3 other places else. But I feel like there's a big chance that the Steelers could take a quarterback here. And if Kenny Pickett's on the board, I do not think he's going past number 20.
At 20, I have the Steelers thinking a quarterback, but this will be the third one. And yes, it's exactly what you're thinking of. I think they take Matt Corral out of Mississippi. He's got a lot of talent, got some good arm. And he's he needs to work on his accuracy, but his arm strength, it's off the charts. He's got a very good arm, and I think he'll fit in nicely with the Steelers. I know it's not who they would like. They would like Kenny Pickett, but Matt Corral is not a bad option here. A good quarterback to develop. So I think they take him here at 20.
At 20, I actually have the Steelers taking O-line. I have them taking Trevor Penning. A lot of Steelers fans love him. A lot of Steelers, the front office members really like him as well. I just think he's a perfect fit. And yeah, I just think that, no matter who their QB is, you need O-line help, and Trevor Penning is one of the perfect O-linemen for their situation right now.
Yeah, with number 21 being the Patriots, I've been taking Devin Lloyd, who's probably the best linebacker in this draft. I think for a lot of people, I've been like, I know a couple Patriots fans, being a Dolphins fan, and they've been saying that Devin Lloyd could be a player that they would really love to have, and that they really don't expect him to even get to them. So if Devin Lloyd, in all of our mock drafts here, Devin Lloyd's obviously here, and I think there's a big chance that he could be available at number 21. And I think if he is, the Patriots will definitely take him, a linebacker that Bill Belichick and not Josh McDaniels anymore, that Bill Belichick would love to have on his team, because he does love his linebackers on defense. So Devin Lloyd could definitely be a great pick for New England here at number 21.
Yo, someone has some background music or noise coming. Want to turn that down?
Hudson. Anyways, I think the Patriots go Trent McDuffie here at 21. A corner, because they just lost J.C. Jackson. He'll fit in. He checks a lot of boxes. I think he fits the Bill Belichick type system. So I think they go Trent McDuffie here.
I have the Patriots taking a corner, but it's not Trent McDuffie, as Trent McDuffie was already taken. I haven't taken Andrew Booth. You guys just lost J.C. Jackson. You lost Stephon Gilmore the year before. You need a corner, and I think that Andrew Booth is the best corner available.
Yeah, and then number 22 for the Green Bay Packers here, I'm going receiver. I mean, obviously they need one. Everybody expects them to take one. This is where I have Chris Olave going, and I realize that this is probably pretty low, so the Packers would be pretty damn lucky to get him here, number 22. But Olave out of Ohio State could be a great fit for the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, considering that they really they really need a receiver. So they'd be lucky to take a guy like Chris Olave here all the way number 22.
Yeah, so the Packers should go receiver here, but this is where I have Drake London. He's a big receiver, someone Aaron Rodgers will like to throw the ball to. And I think he'll fit well with Aaron Rodgers. So I think the Packers take him at 22.
I have a receiver as well, Jahan Dotson. This is the guy from Penn State. He's very underrated. He is a very, very underrated receiver. He's the best receiver available. I've had a lot of receivers go off the board. So this is like my 5th or 6th receiver. Let's see. I think, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Chris Olave, Traylon Burks. So this is my 5th receiver off the board. So yeah, I have Jahan Dotson going at number 22 to the Packers.
And here, number 23 for the Cardinals, this is where I have Andrew Booth Jr. going. I think that they could definitely take a corner, and with the Patriots, with the Patriots not taking him, because I think that they're definitely a team that could take him, I have the Cardinals going with Andrew Booth Jr., who I did used to have above Trent McDuffie, but now after watching a ton of stuff on him, he's kind of been like lower down in my rankings, and I think he'll fall down to the Cardinals where they can have a long-term corner and Andrew Booth come in and be a great defensive back for them.
I also have the Cardinals taking Andrew Booth Jr. here at 23. They need some depth on the defensive side of the ball, and they need corners. So I think Andrew Booth will fit in perfectly. That's who I have him taking at 23.
I got the Cardinals taking Logan Hall, who's a defensive lineman out of Houston. A lot of people present at his pro day, and they do need defensive help, as Tatus mentioned. I was pondering corner, but I settled with defensive line instead.
And then, number 24 for the Cowboys, I had Kenyon Green going here. Kenyon Green and Zion Johnson are probably my 2 favorite offensive line prospects in this draft. Kenyon Green definitely one of them because he can play literally every single position on the line. At Texas A&M, he literally played left tackle, left guard, right tackle, and right guard, everything except for center. But he played a significant amount of time at every single position, which just makes me – he was one of the guys that I would love for the Dolphins to have drafted number 29 before the Tyreek Hill trade. But the Cowboys would be very, very lucky to have him. Losing Connor Williams and La'el Collins, I think, definitely means that they could definitely be drafting an O-line, and Kenyon Green could be a great, great addition to their team.
I think the Cowboys take a steal here, and they take Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa. Last of the better remaining O-tackles on the board. Big size, big height. Good. He's got good technique, very athletic, strong, and I think he'll fit in nicely with this Dallas O-line. So that's why I'm going at 24.
Almost done.
I have an at 24 as well, and Zion Johnson. I think he's a steal. Nothing much more that needs to be said. I think O-lineman has to be the pick here for Dallas.
Yeah, number 25 for the Bills. I have them taking a receiver here, actually, in Jahan Dotson. You basically said a ton of stuff about him before. Fast receiver out of Penn State, and I think that he should be perfect for a guy like Josh Allen and Sean McDermott in that offense. So the Bills just added another playmaker to the team in Jahan Dotson.
I think the Bills take Zion Johnson here. Hudson, you mentioned it. He's very good. He's got good strength. He's very versatile, and he's a good. He's good in the run game, which is something the Bills lack in terms of blocking schemes. So I think he'll fit in nicely with the Bills. So yeah, that's who I have at this one.
I have the Bills taking a corner here. In Khair Alam out of Florida. there aren't too many holes in the Bills team. You know, I didn't want to go with another receiver here because like there's a big drop off from Jahan Dotson and like the next couple receivers. So I just settled on going a corner here. I know they have Trey White and Micah Hyde, and Jordan Poyer on the defensive end, but I think um, Kyrat Lam could learn from Trey White and eventually, be the future corner of that team once he's gone.
Yeah, sorry, my fault. Number 26 with the Titans. I've also taken receiver. I know that they did trade for Robert Woods and do have AJ Brown, but I feel like pairing another receiver next to those two would finish that offense completely around Ryan Tannehill and stuff. And I've been taking Treylon Burks. To us, you also said stuff about this guy out of Arkansas. He's a speedy receiver, and that unofficial time at the 40 was like the fastest in NFL history. So whether or not, I know that they were kind of way off with that time, but still, he's a crazy fast receiver out of Arkansas, and wouldn't love this team with the Titans considering in the AFC, but the Titans would pick up a great receiver here at number 26.
I think the Titans take Devin Lloyd out of Utah here at 26. Big guy. He's got a good IQ, and I think he'll just fit. Titans needed linebackers, so I think this will be a good pick here at 26.
Yep, I have Devin Lloyd as well. Same exact reasoning.
And with the Bucks here, number 27, I've been taking a corner in Khair Elam. He's definitely a corner I think could be kind of slept on coming into this draft because they're all basically talking about the top 4 to 5 corners. Khair Elam is kind of left out of that conversation, but the Bucks I feel like could take him as they are kind of in need of a corner.
I have my second trade and my last trade here. And I have the Pittsburgh Steelers moving up to 27 from all their second round picks or whatever. They're taking Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is still not gone. And they're going to swing for the fences. Their GM, who I think this is last year being the GM of the team, is going to go out with a bang. And Kenny Pickett at 27 is a steal. They took an O-line at 20 for me. And I think they will trade up to 27 and take Kenny Pickett.
I think the Bucks take a surprise pick here at 27. I think they go Kenneth Walker out of Michigan State. Very elusive runner. He should be their future back. So, and he can be a workhorse in my opinion. So I think he'll fit in nicely.
Yeah, and then with the next pick, number 28, with the Packers, this is where I have Boye Mafe going. I feel like it would be surprising kind of to me if he did fall this far to the Packers. And there's really nobody else that I could see them really taking, not really a corner on the board, which they don't need anymore. A receiver, which they took earlier in the draft with the Raiders picking Olave. And I think Boye Mafe is kind of just the player to take in that best player available talk. So Boye Mafe I have going to the Packers here as the best edge on the board.
I have the Packers taking Daxton Hill out of Michigan. Just depth in terms of the back end. They need it. So, yeah, I have been taking him at 28.
I got the Packers taking an absolute steal, Devontae Wyatt at 28, defensive lineman. Probably the second best D lineman or third best. Him and Logan Hall go back and forth after Jordan Davis. Packers just added depth for them. They took a receiver already. So, yeah, Devontae Wyatt at 28.
And with the Chiefs having back-to-back picks here, this is from the Miami pick from San Francisco at number 29. I have them taking Daxton Hill here, like Tage just said about him. But it looks like Tyrann Mathieu is probably not even going back to the Chiefs. So I do have them taking another safety here in Daxton Hill.
I have the Chiefs taking Khair Elam here at 29. The Chiefs need corner depth, so this will work in perfectly for them.
I also have the Chiefs taking Daxton Hill. Like Hudson said, with Tyrann Mathieu not returning, probably We need a safety to replace him, and Daxton Hill is the best safety available. Either him or Jaquan Brisker, but I think it's Daxton Hill, so I'm going to go with Daxton Hill.
Yeah, and with the outer end of the back-to-back picks here for the Chiefs, I have them taking a receiver to at least attempt to fill in for the Tyreek Hill loss and Christian Watson. Sorry, no. George Pickens, the receiver out of Georgia, who's been gaining a lot of talk recently. At least I've been hearing he's been a receiver that I really like, and I think the Chiefs could be taking him here late in the first round.
I think the Chiefs take a receiver here, but I think they take Traylon Burks out of Arkansas. Big receiver. He won't fit the Tyreek Hill position, obviously. But I think giving Patrick Mahomes a guy who can go get a jump ball might come a little bit more handy than he thinks. So I think this would be a good pick here.
I got taking George Pickens as well. Yeah, I just think that is a very obvious pick for them. They just lost Tyreek. They need a receiver. George Pickens is the best available. So him at 30 is a good pick for them.
And then at number 31 with the Bengals, I have them getting a steal here in Trevor Penning. We all know that the one thing that they need is O-line, so I do have them taking one of the best in the draft here late in the first round.
I have Bengals getting a steal here in Kenyon Green. Hudson mentioned his versatility, playing almost every single position. He's a great teammate, great skill. He's got good IQ. So I think he'll fit perfectly here, and especially something that the Bengals lack, which is offensive line. So works in perfectly for them.
I have the Bengals getting an absolute steal here. Now, this guy could go a lot higher, and you guys are probably surprised he's still on my board. But I just didn't think another team needed him. I don't think he fit with another team because, like, a position of his is so rare for a first-round guy. Tyler Linderbaum is at 31. And this is, like, the perfect situation. The Bengals they win. Like, they're, like, one of the big winners of the draft year. Because Joe Burrow will be protected. Like, he will just be protected so well. They got some O-linemen in the free agency. And Tyler Linderbaum at 31 is this absolute steal.
And to wrap up the mock draft here, number 32 with the Lions, I've been taking Nakobe Dean. I think that he is going to be the pick here at number 32 for the Lions, considering the injury that occurred with David Ojabo. I think Nakobe Dean's just a beast out of Georgia, like Tage said earlier, as Nakobe Dean was taken in his mock way earlier. But I think he should be a great player in the league. And with taken here by the Lions, I think they have a stud for the future.
I think the Lions go receiver here and take Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. I think he'll fit in nicely. And they require receiver depth anyway, so it'll be a good pick for them here at 32.
I also have my Detroit Lions taking Nakobe Dean. Huge fan of his, as you guys know. He's a leader. He's just a very good player, man. And Dan Campbell will love a guy with his attitude and his play style. So that will round out the draft. And that is our full first round mock draft. Let us know how you guys thought we did. If you guys agree, disagree with any picks. And yeah, we'll wrap the video there. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. We'll see y'all there as always. Peace.